Bring in the spokesperson of the Commission, Julius Mucunguzi. Many thanks for joining us this evening. There were reports of technical glitches like you saw in our reports from our bureau chiefs during the exercise. What was the problem? Did you need more time? Did you not have the money?
Thank you very much, Canary. And first of all, to say that we thank Ugandans for showing the enthusiasm that they have shown on day one of this exercise of general update of the National Voters Register, a very important exercise that essentially determines who becomes a voter, who is able to become a candidate, and who is able to raise a petition or become an agent. We have a platform of the Commission staff across the country, and the Commission has been tracking the different activities that have been happening, looking at what the gaps have been in some places, and looking at what those other places which have been successfully commissioned and launched today have had to do. We are confident that the coming days, as we begin, today was day one, and day one obviously in most cases you have some gaps here and there, but they are not significant to cast a spell on this exercise that is very important. The Commission is organized. Okay. The Commission has put in place now that everything that is required. And for today, in those places where the reports have indicated, we informed our parish supervisors to make sure that today is used to communicate to the people, roll out the program, inform them of what they need to do in the coming days so that there is no time wastage, so that the exercise going forward picks up momentum, and we are confident that it will pick momentum as the days progress, as we begin tomorrow, Wednesday, and the coming days.
Talking about, of course, the program, we understand there's a 20-day deadline. I've been covering elections, and whenever there's, for example, delays in polling, there's always an extension of the hours. They don't stop us at the particular hour stipulated in the law. I've always seen extensions. This deadline, some people did not have the opportunity because perhaps the weaknesses were on your side. Do you think that there's going to be an extension for this? We have no doubt in our minds that the period of the 20th of January to the 10th of February will be sufficient to enable Ugandans to turn out and register as voters, check their particulars, make the transfers. This day one really cannot and should not and will not determine the pace at which the subsequent days are going to be undertaken. We are very confident that this period that has been given, because these initial day one programming issues were factored into the planning, and today as day one we were aware that there may be these spaces that will require the parish supervisors to use today to make the organization that is required, to use today to mobilize the people and take them through what is required in this registration exercise. So it was not necessarily really an absence of materials on the ground. It's part of what was expected as part of the program to roll out this exercise. For purposes of fairness must not only be done but also be seen to be done. Yes. There are people who, of course, turned up and you know they were given the service. There are people who turned up and technical equipment was missing. For purposes of fairness, for all Ugandans everywhere to receive the same amount of time. I'm talking about extension of the deadline. But not just that. There were reports of lack of sensitization in some parts of the country. I don't know how you are handling this. I could bring you here on day 10 and I'll tell you that there are still challenges. So despite it being day one, are you putting in place measures to make sure that people get the same amount of time to update the register?
This exercise is happening at the parish level, and in each parish, the Commission has deployed a parish supervisor. We also have sub-county supervisors. We also have staff at the district level that are supervising this exercise. We are confident, and the people at the parish, the parish is a manageable space where the persons at the parish level have been briefed, and their tasks include going across the parish, informing the people of what is happening where, giving them a program of the presence of the machines, of the kits, where they will be, when, so that there is organization, so that there is better use of time, and we cannot, at this point, on day one, begin to talk about extension or a possibility of extension,
Okay.
because we are confident that this period is sufficient. What we call upon everybody that is involved in this process is to mobilize the people to stand up and ensure that the country has a clean, credible, and firm, credible voters register.